Start in a wide-legged child's pose. Bring your knees about as wide as the mat and your big toes together to touch. Sit back onto your heels and rest your head onto something. It can be a pillow, it can be a blanket. And just turn your hands up towards the sky in a receptive gesture. Begin to breathe in deeply here. Breathing in through your nose and exhaling through your nose. And as you start to slow down and deepen your breathing, it will start to calm your mind, setting you up for a peaceful state of mind so that you can have some peaceful sleep this evening. With every inhale, think let, and every exhale, go. Inhale, let, exhale, go. As you do this, scan your body and notice any areas that are resisting or holding tension, and send that intention of just letting go and releasing into those spaces. Maybe it's in your hips, maybe you're holding the muscles in your face, maybe your thigh muscles are clenched a little bit. Just try and release all of the muscles in your body so that you can find complete relaxation. And continue to breathe so deep into your belly, expanding your belly button out, expanding the back of your ribs all the way up your back. And then as you exhale, feel your belly button pulling in towards your spine. All of that air is just pressing out. When you're ready, tuck your toes and lift your hips to downward facing dog. Just slowly, gently, and easily here. Nothing too strenuous. You can bend your knees. And then gently make your way to the front of the mat and fold forward over your legs. Grab opposite elbows with your hands and just hang forward like a rag doll, continuing to breathe deeply, releasing any tension in your neck and shoulders, your upper back. Breathing deeply and slowly into your low belly. And then letting that all go, letting any tension in your spine and your back go, letting your head just completely relax. And drop your hands to the mat and slowly, gently rise up to stand, roll up to stand, and then roll your shoulders down your back, standing tall in Tadasana. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky, and then exhale, gently dive forward over your legs into a forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Then gently plant your palms down and step to your left foot back so you're in a low runner's lunge. And start to toe heel your right foot out to the right a little bit, and then drop your back knee down to the mat. Untuck your toes. Bring your forearms down to the mat and turn your palms up in a sign of receptivity again. If you can't quite reach the mat, maybe put a pillow or a blanket right under your forearms so that you bring the floor up to you a little bit. And just breathe in deeply here, continuing that same pattern of breathing. Breathing into your hips, releasing any tension. We hold a lot of emotions in our hips. So just letting that go, letting that release so that you can sleep well. And as uncomfortable as this pose can get, just stick with it. Continue to work with your breath. Send it into those tight spaces of your hips and release as much tension and tightness as you can. Tuck your toes, lift your knee off the ground, and gently walk your back foot in about 2 feet, and then toe heel your other foot to the center of the mat and send your heart towards your shin in pyramid pose. So working towards sending your heart towards your shin so that you're not, trying to get your nose to your knee. It's not about that necessarily. And continue to breathe here. And then bring your hands to your hips and inhale back up to stand. Turn your feet wide, stepping wide onto your mat, turning your toes in slightly, and placing your hands on your hips, leading with your heart. Fold forward in towards your legs. Let your hands rest onto the mat and let your head, neck, and shoulders relax down. And work your hands back so that they're in line with your feet. And maybe again you need to put a pillow or a blanket underneath of you to bring the floor up to you. And just continue to breathe deeply here. You're going to feel different sensations. Then notice those sensations. Notice the difference in your right hip compared to your left after stretching so long in lizard pose. And continue this ritual of letting go and releasing tension. Beautiful. Bring your hands back to your hips and leading with your heart, rise back up to stand. Turn your left toes out, coming into a low runner's lunge on the left side, and then drop your back knee down, untuck your toes, and toe heel your left foot out to the left a bit so that you can rest your forearms onto the mat. And again, turn your palms up to the sky in a sign of receptivity and letting go and releasing. Beautiful. Now use your breath and start to work with your left side, working with your left hip to release any tension, any emotions that you're holding in there. Beautiful job. And continue to stick with it, relaxing your shoulders. Awesome job. Really good. Stick with it just a little bit longer. Breathe into that space and then plant your palms back onto the mat. Tuck your back toes under, lift that knee, and step your back foot in about a foot so that you can fold forward, leading with your heart into pyramid pose. And make sure that that front knee is not hyperextended, so maybe you have a little micro bend in your knee. And again, you're sending your heart towards your knee, not so much your nose to your knee. Beautiful. Breathing here. Breathing and releasing. Leading with your heart and not your head. Inhale, leading with your heart, rise back up to stand. Bring your hands to your hips and step your feet wide. Start to work your hands up your back into a secret prayer, or maybe you just interlace your fingers behind your back, but if you'd like to do a secret prayer, pressing your palms together, opening and spreading across your chest. Awesome, creating space in the front of your body. And again, leading with your heart, folding forward over your legs. Beautiful. Continually working your fingers up your back so that you have a continuous opening in your shoulders, opening across your chest and across your heart, peeling back the layers. Beautiful. Sticking with it just a few breaths more. And leading with your heart, rising up to stand. Gently release your hands and turn back towards the front of your mat. Frame your front foot and step back to a plank position. Lower all the way down to your belly. Beautiful. Resting your forehead onto the mat. Interlace your fingertips at your low back and peel open your chest off of the mat. So your toes are tacked down into your mat, even your little baby toe. Your hips are pressing into the mat and you're lifting up your chest, letting your arms pull you up. And you're breathing the whole time. And exhale, release down. Release your forehead to the mat. You can shake out your hips a little bit from side to side to release your low back and find some relaxation here. Bring your palms under your shoulders and gently fold back to a child's pose. Just resting here for a moment. Resting your forehead onto the mat, or you can stack two fists on top of each other and rest your forehead there. And just gently rise up to sit. Sitting onto your sits bone, stretch your right leg long out in front of you and bring the sole of your left foot to your inner right thigh, squaring your hips off as much as you can to your right leg, leading with your heart fold forward over that leg, grabbing onto your shin, or maybe you're able to reach your foot. And just continually sending your heart towards your knees, not so much rounding your back and putting your forehead onto the mat, but leading with your heart, sending your heart to your knees. And then inhale, rise back up to stand, and just switch your feet gently. Beautiful. Squaring your hips off to your left leg, leading with your heart fold forward, holding on to your foot or your shin, and breathing here. Awesome. Really great. And then inhale back up to center. Stretch both legs long out in front of you and then scoot up a little bit to the front of your mat so you have room behind you. Bringing the soles of your feet together and peel open your feet like a book and leading with your heart. Just gently start to send your heart towards your feet as much as you can. You might not go very far and that's fine. Just breathing here for a moment. Awesome. Really nice. Beautiful. Sticking with it just a few moments more, a few more breaths, and then gently rise up and slowly roll onto your back, keeping your soles of your feet together and resting your left palm onto your heart and your right palm onto your belly. And meditate on this constant rise and fall of your belly. Meditate on your heartbeat and just feel that vibration from the center of your being, just radiating outwards to the rest of your body. And feel free to stay here as long as you want. This is such a nice opening, relaxing pose. And then as you're ready, making your way to shavasana, stretching your legs long out in front of you, stretching your arms and relaxing your shoulders down your back. And release all of the tiny little joints and muscles of your feet, each individual joint of your toes. Just release that tension. Feel your ankles completely relax. Feel your knees relax. Feel all the heavy tissues of your thighs and your calves just completely release and melt away from the bone, imagining that they're melting into the ground beneath of you. Feel your hips completely relax. And your breathing is nice and light. No need to control it any longer. Feel your shoulders relax, your shoulder blades just drape down the back of your body. Your elbows are relaxed and your hands are relaxed. Your fingers are turned upwards. And your fingers just curl naturally, almost as if you have a little stone resting in the palm of your hands. And feel your head so heavy and sinking into the ground behind you. Feel all the tiny little muscles of your forehead relax, all the muscles in your cheeks relax. And feel your jaw relax. Maybe you open and close your jaw a couple times to release that joint. And then feel your tongue release from the roof of your mouth so that your jaw, your mouth, your tongue is completely relaxed. Finding the peace of sleep before you've actually fallen asleep. Finding total relaxation in shavasana, corpse pose, final resting pose. And feel free to stay here as long as you would like. This is a great way to fall right asleep. And may you find deep and lasting peace now and as you sleep and always. Namaste.